doing to try to avoid this? Let's get some answers right now. Joining us in studio, Republican Senator David Vitter to address some of that issue.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
And I'll just say, hey, I'm sorry right off the bat. Seems like every time we see you, we always start with this "we're running out of money" thing going on. And here we are faced with yet another situation that could affect Barksdale.
We seem to be hobbling from one crisis to the next, and we need to get out of that routine. We got through the fiscal cliff, and now this is the new sequestration crisis. I think we can deal with this level of cuts. I do think the way these across-the-board cuts are designed is particularly dumb, and we need to restructure the cuts.
But, we're talking about, Barksdale. So many they're affiliated with that. Even to our south, Fort Polk, I'm understanding they could have a lot of people that are transferred elsewhere. That could impact smaller communities. Yeah,
and that's the biggest area where we need to restructure. Defense is about 18% of the budget, but it's getting 50% of these cuts, so that's way out of whack. I've supported several proposals that would restructure the cuts, give defense a proportionate share of cuts, but not half the cuts if it's 18% of the budget.
March 1, are we going to get anything done?
I don't think anything's going to happen before March 1st, so I think this so-called sequestration, these across-the-board cuts will start. Then we'll go from there. I think largely how it develops after that depends on how those cuts really do impact folks in the real world and how that feels.
So a pretty big issue for you, immigration. What's the latest on that battle on Capitol Hill?
Well, of course, there's been a lot of immigration reform discussion. I'm concerned about a lot of these proposals because, to me, a lot of the proposals you hear seem to be the old model of matching an immediate amnesty with promises of enforcement. Now, we've tried that before. Biggest example was 1986 under President Reagan. An immediate amnesty was granted with promises of enforcement, and of course the enforcement never fully happened. So something that was supposed to solve the problem, never have to look back, never have to do any sort of amnesty again, in fact quadrupled the problem. We had about 3 million illegal aliens then. We have 11 or 12 million now. So what I want to make sure is that we do something that really solves the problem, doesn't sustain it, doesn't continue it, certainly doesn't quadruple it.
Just a couple seconds here. You're using this time away from D.C. Town hall meeting today?
Right. We're out of session, so I'm going around the state as I always do. Have several town halls in Minden at 10 a.m., Natchitoches at 3 p.m. Also have a meeting with the North Shreveport Business Association coming right up at 7 a.m., so a lot of good public meetings.
All right, sir. Good to see you as always.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Good to be with you.